missed the playoffs last season, which led to the firing of Mike McCarthy. Well, there's a new regime in Green Bay led by new head coach Matt LaFleur. Yesterday, LaFleur said the combo of himself, new offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, and new quarterback coach Luke Getsy will be coaching Rodgers, quote, from all angles. By the way, all three coaches are under 40 years old, and Rodgers is 35. So, Skip.
Yeah.
Will all of these new coaches, all of them, help Aaron Rodgers?
Rob Parker, I actually thought of you last night when I read this story.
He's biting there. He's been chomping at the bit all night.
This was a laugh out loud for me, and I was by myself, and I laughed out loud, and it kind of scared me, like, what am I doing? I'm laughing by myself. This was Saturday Night Live come to reality right before me on my computer screen. Like, this is a skit. So we have a new head coach named Matt LaFleur, who's all 39 years old, as Jenny points out. And he says that Aaron is now going to get triple the coaching because they have a new coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, who's all 39 years old. And they have brought back a former receivers coach, who's now the quarterback coach, named Luke Getsy, who's all of 35 years old, which is actually Aaron Rodgers' current age, 35. These three young men are in for a rude awakening. Now runs this show. He runs this franchise. He runs the state of Wisconsin. He runs Packer Nation. He could not have it any better in the wake of Mike McCarthy, who actually did try to coach Aaron and coach him hard. And we read story after story about how Aaron would listen to the play call and say, no, I think we'll run this to the huddle. And look, not only does he now run this franchise, but Rob, you're not going to like what I'm about to say. The cold, hard fact is that Aaron Rodgers, given how he's been put on such a pedestal by Rob Parker and Shannon Sharp and everybody else, it seems like, on Undisputed, as the greatest thrower of the football ever, that guy, given that lofty expectation of him, has become the most overrated quarterback in NFL history.
Come on, Skip.
And I'm not exaggerating. Nope, I'm not going to take it back.
Take it back. How can
I want
you
to show
say that?
you.
Take it back.
2 years. 2 years is starting now, and he was hurt 2 years ago, but his last, what are we up to, 23 starts. He's 10-12-1 over 2 years. Last year in QBR, he fell all the way to 19th. Last year in completion percentage, he ranked 28th in the National Football League. This is below average. And again, given these lofty expectations as the greatest thrower of the football ever. Last year, he shattered the throwaway record kept by Pro Football Focus 59 times last year. He didn't like what he saw, so he just threw the ball in the ground. He just threw it in the fifth row. Next on that list last year.
He was giving out souvenirs.
Yeah, right. Well, he was. He threw a whole bunch of souvenirs up into the stands. Second on the list last year was Jared Goff at 40. So he had 19 more throwaways, which broke the all-time throwaway record. And why is that? Because he has learned, a la LeBron James, who is a stat stuffer, but Aaron is a stat protector because he's learned how to protect his interceptions thrown because he was 25-2 last year, 25 touchdowns.
Would you say that's pretty good?
Okay, and over the 2 years, he's 41-8.
Is that pretty good?
That's all you got because what you're doing is, I don't want to try that, so I'll just throw it in the fifth row. I don't want to try that, so I'll just throw it in the
So you
dirt.
want a guy to force the ball in where maybe there might be double coverage or triple coverage? You should force it?
10-12-1 as a starter over the last 2 years. And don't tell me he hasn't had help because Devontae Adams made the Pro Bowl last year. And Jimmy Graham was pretty good as his tight end. And those two kids he has, Valdez Scantling and Equanimous St. Brown, they're both 6'4", 6'5" inches, and they showed me flashes of looking like they're young studs. Randall Cobb was hurt some last year, but he's still a quality slot receiver.
How about Mason Crosby? Do you remember last year in Detroit where he missed 5 field goals in that game that they lost? I could go on and make excuses, Skip.
Okay, well, I could go on and on making stats here because, Rob, he has become a below-average quarterback who now will be coaching the coaches.
You really don't believe he's a below-average, overrated?
No, I do
not. And here's a quote from Hackett, who's the offensive coordinator. He said, "You don't want to necessarily treat it as if a start over, as if it's a start over, and rightfully so. You're right. They could
By
bring
the way,
in.
just for a point of order, Paul Hackett's a longtime friend of mine, and I covered him for years and years, so I knew Nathaniel when he was like 5 years old, so it's hard for me to even believe Nathaniel's an offensive coordinator, and now he's been bouncing around the league. You know, he's like a veteran offensive coordinator. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you could bring in 9 coaches. This is not like you're going to redo or remake Aaron Rodgers. And I give the Packers credit. They're trying to give them whatever and say, hey, whatever you need or we can help you or whatever. But there's not much here where you're going to reinvent the wheel and fix Aaron Rodgers. You just said it, 25 touchdowns, 2 picks. Here's one, Skip. You gave me the other one about the throwaways. Aaron Rodgers last year was tied with Patrick Mahomes for throws over 15 yards. All right?
Are those attempts or completion?
These are attempts, but I'm just saying, Skip, he's throwing the ball downfield. It's not just always bailing out and throwing the ball away. And
quick counter stat. Wait a second. Quick counter stat to that.
You got something?
Accuracy on deep passes just last year, 41.8%. That ranks 17th in the league. So those are 20-plus yard passes. Accuracy on deep balls, below average.
And you could talk about Aaron Rodgers is 32 years old, football years. You know, you have a thing, dog years, football years. You remember, Skip, he didn't play his first 3 years. So when I look at him as a 35-year-old, he didn't get beat up and worked over in those first 3 years. So those will add on as we go forward. The other part is, we know this, he has the best quarterback passing rating in the history of the National Football League. That's even with these last couple of years that you think were so awful and he was terrible.
That's why I hate that stat.
All right,
so
why?
So
why?
misleading.
Because, no, it's not misleading. That is despite what's happened. And then you saw, and he also has the best quarterback, best touchdown to interception ratio, also the best fewest interceptions. You could go through the record books, and Aaron Rodgers is all over it. But here's the other part. Aaron Rodgers, as you move forward, still has an opportunity to get it turned around. Last year, everybody totally discounted when he was hurt in the first game of the year against the Bears. If you watched that game, I thought his season was over. Did you not, Skip, when he went down? He came back, won that game.
All I heard was he's the GOAT now because he came from 20-3 down in the fourth quarter playing on a knee.
On a bad
that was
knee.
just ravaged.
All I'm saying
and I think he was just fine.
But
nobody
even took into consideration that he played on basically a bad knee. He didn't complain. He had a brace on it.
He
just played through it. No, he just played through it, Skip. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting. Yep.
And here's another point. For people who are ready to bury him. He's not done. He can win at the back end of his career. Tom Brady went 9 years between Super Bowl wins.
Don't compare Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady.
9 wins. Jenny, guess how many years it's been since Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl? 8.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's not inconceivable that he can have
only 8.
Yes, that he can have a back.
Like 18.
Feels like a while.
Right?
That he can have a back end the way that Brady's had a back end. Brady went all those years without winning. It's not impossible.
So wait, Aaron Rodgers has played in 1 Super Bowl? And Tom Brady's played in 9?
Aaron Rodgers is batting 1,000. He's 1 for 1. And Tom Brady is like 500, basically.
Like 6-3, 500?
Basically.
6-3, 500.
As far as my math goes.
And now we read story after story quoting ex-Green Bay Packers, including our very own Greg Jennings, saying that Aaron's hard to play with and for. He's a finger-pointing diva. He's a blame deflector. We just keep hearing all these same things, and I've been saying them for 10 years.
There was blood in the water when he was hurt this year. So people pounced on him because he didn't have an Aaron Rodgers type year. They couldn't win a game on the road. So there was an opening. They were tired of all the praise. I get it. This was their chance to say something. They couldn't say something all those other years when they dominated the NFC North and they won all those divisions, right? And they were going to the playoffs every year. And the defense would let them down in every big game. So they couldn't say anything then. So then they used this year as a reason to pounce on them. They'll all regret it. They'll all be wrong when Aaron Rodgers makes his comeback this year. And it won't have anything to do with the new coaches, the young coaches. It'll be about Aaron Rodgers being healthy, getting it back together, this team being better. And Aaron Rodgers will once again Why wouldn't he be the favorite in the NFC North? You think the Bears? Okay, you want to say the Bears?
Kirk Cousins.
What about the Vikings?
You want to say Kirk Cousins?
Oh, let's hope.
Did you see Kirk Cousins this year? You want to say Matt Stafford and the Lions? It's always about Aaron Rodgers. He's not going anywhere. He'll be back.
So
bigger and better than ever.
He just got Mike McCarthy fired.
He didn't get Mike
I'm about to
McCarthy
make
fired.
a reference you're going to love. One of your all-time favorite shows. He just got the Three Stooges hired.
Oh, wow.
The Three Stooges
You can't point
just got hired.
fingers at everyone.
Go ahead,
three
Skip.
guys.
Try it.
Rob, thank you for joining us. Will the Giants trade Odell this offseason? Mike Rappaport is here, which means he has plenty to say about that next.